Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate all of that respect and hello and well wishes from everybody. Thank you. So here we are today, and I'm completely losing track. I don't know if it's our 11th or our 12th or whatever, but we're nearing the end. This is the next to the last class that we're going to have for this module. We've been doing the wellness exercises. We're going to add in one more with some trepidation. We're going to go ahead and add that in. And actually, Suman, you mentioned this last time, the Parting the Wild Horse's Mane. And we're actually going to add that one in. My trepidation is that it's going to be similar enough to some of what we have done with right ward off that the two may get a little confused. But when you go on the internet and you watch, and when I send out the email this next week, I'll make sure that I include those links again. And you watch the wellness exercises, which you can now practice online, you know the whole part one. And this will also give you more of part two. Won't give you everything in part two, but it'll give you 2 of the 3 moves in part 2. And then in part 3 is the right ward off exercise. So we're not doing them all, but should you want to do them, you would have an introduction to a lot of them that are online. So I just wanted to, it's kind of nice to add it. And this one is very nice. So let's get warmed up, getting in our bodies. I'm in quite a warm space, but it's cooling off, which is really nice. I'm up in kind of an attic space, but it's oh, you guys, fabulous. So we are going into prepare, and by now we really know what that is. We are grounding our lower body. So from our very center, all the way down to the very soles of our feet. We feel grounded and our feet are shoulder width apart. And remember that we are going to relax this lower back. And some people say, is that tipping the pelvis forward? Well, kind of, but not that far. What it really is very similar to how we sit in a chair. So you sit in a chair, your tailbone reaches for that chair. It reaches for that chair. And in order to reach for that chair, it has to relax. So get a feel for that and then straighten your knees, but don't tighten this area of your back. Keep that area of your back very soft and flexible. So then when we start and prepare, our legs are pretty straight, but we haven't done that, that tight glutes or anything like that. We're straight in the legs, but we're still reaching for that chair with our tailbones. Yes, that's nice. And then that fishbowl on the tops of our heads, the sense of our heads just rising up, like the fish said, I just want to see a little higher. Could you just raise up a little and feel that stretch from your center up your spine? Give that fish the extra 1/4 inch or whatever you've got. So you are both grounded down from your center and also connected upwards from your center. And your arms hang heavy, relaxed, middle fingers right at sort of the seams of your pants. Fingers even extended like tiny weights on them. And your weight is equally divided between both feet, and it's not on your heels, and it's not on your toes. You're just feeling as much of the soles of your feet as your anatomy can help you feel. And this is prepare. It doesn't seem like much, but it's centered you, and all the parts of your body can now work together. Then feel a stretching across, an expansion across your shoulder blades. It's going to turn your upper arms. Your arms are going to lever up as if someone pushed down in the back at your shoulders, and they came up like a lever, the fulcrum of the shoulders. And then those elbows hang down and a wave forms, and you push down like you're pushing a ball into the water. There's going to come a point where you can't push anymore, and then you're going to stop. So I'm going to do it from the side, and you just do it with me, still looking at the screen. Prepare, that same position. Feel that expansion across your shoulder blades, turning your upper arms, levering up. Those shoulders stay down, fingers extended. Here come the upper arms, and then the forearms, and then the hands pushing that ball into the water as your arms come down. And we're going to move right into moving like the waves, incorporating our lower body. So here's that expansion, and our arms coming up as an opening, and then the wave starts. Elbows drooping, and we sink, pushing that ball into the water. And as we rise, our arms reverse and down. Breathing in. Breathing out. Powering from our lower body. Can you feel the energy go all the way up into your arms and then out your fingertips when you come up? It starts in your feet. It ends up in your fingertips. And we'll do one more. Rising. To shoulder height and then down. And now coming up, we're going to go out, expanding out, a breathing tree. So they're hugging a big West Coast tree. And it breathes out. And as it breathes out, you're connected. Always a circle. And then it breathes in, and your circle expands out. So you're connected to this tree that with each breath gets larger and smaller. Breathing in, expanding and coming up, and breathing out, sinking. Breathing in and out. Really breathing from our diaphragm, breathing from the lower part, like you breathe when you're asleep. It all starts right in your belly. Pulling that air in, just like you were asleep, and then it goes out. And we'll bring our arms down, feeling the bottom. Our fingertips will drop. Then we'll push up, rotate our arms, keep our shoulders relaxed, gaze up at the moon, arms at 45, and then they circle around the top of our head and down in the front. Pushing again. Our fingers drop, our arms rotate. We come up, expanding up, looking up, gazing up at the moon, and then our gaze comes back down, level, as we push down to the bottom. And again, powering up to the moon, arms circle, arms pushing down past our eyes. And we push down to the bottom. And one more time, arms circle up. They go to 45 and then bend at the elbows, the hands continuing, coming to eye level, and then pushing down. And then one arm, your left arm probably comes up. You turn, you grab, you pull. The other arm is coming up to meet it. The inner arm rises as the outer arm falls, and the inner arm passes in front of you. It turns out, grabs, pulls as you turn out. The other arm is circled and is risen. Inner arm rises. It then grabs and pulls. Inner arm rises, turns, grabs, pulls. Inner arm comes to meet, outer arm falls, inner arm is up, it's grabbing, pulling as we turn out. Inner arm rises, grabs, pulls in front. Other inner arm rises, grabs, pulls. Inner arm rises, grabbing, pulling. And now we're going to be stopping shortly. The inner arm rises and just comes to the side. Then we come down with both arms, rising, bringing our arms to center, and coming down. Then we're going to stop here for now and do some other exercises. And I wanted to ask you folks, how was that? I know, Suman, you have not done this, but really once before, maybe twice. So I know it's very new to you. Do you have questions about any of those things that we did?
Yeah, I was actually going slower than you. Is it a misconception, or is slower the better?
So you should do what works for you. Um, uh, you could do all of the Tai Chi moves very slowly or very fast. If if you're learning it, it's hard if you're going at a different pace than the rest of folks, because what you hear and what you're doing may be very different. But I don't have a problem with whatever speed you go. And if your body is very clearly saying it wants to do at a particular speed, we can also try some things at different speeds. When I first started doing Tai Chi, I actually, I definitely had a natural speed. And it was slower than most everyone else's. I definitely did. And now I can do almost anything faster or slower, but I definitely had a very slow speed. I remember Master Yang Jun saying at one point, how long does it take you to do the form? And people were saying 22 minutes and 26 minutes and 24 minutes. And I went, 45 or 50, I was just going a lot slower, just a lot slower. So I feel for you, actually. I do. So we can try some of these things when we finish up. Maybe we can try some of these things and go slower, and maybe that will be more your natural pace. And on YouTube, if you go down to the little wheel on YouTube, tip for those of you who don't know, there's a little, you just go to YouTube and you play. And if you go down on everybody's controls, even, you don't have to be in a special place, on the screen where you're seeing the video, there's a little like system sign, like like settings sign, like a gear wheel. And you go to that gear wheel, and one of the options is to play it at half speed or 3/4 speed. So you can do things at and when I'm learning something on YouTube, if you can make it too slow, if you make it 3/4 speed, you can still hear what's going on. At half speed, I think they get rid of the audio. But anyway, it's so tip. You can practice it slowly and not be rushed. One of the problems when you're teaching some of the moves in Tai Chi is that it is quite challenging for everybody to do them very slowly, because you're balancing. It's particularly challenging for me right here because this floor is highly padded, because my granddaughter is there's a crash pad over here. She's a kid who moves a lot, and it's best to have a soft padding and a crash pad and stuff like that. So this is her playroom. So yeah, that's where we are. That's where. All right. So I just like to go over this new move. So in this new move, we're going to do several things. One of the things that we're going to do is, we've done this closing of our arms before, but we do it a little bit differently here. The closing is very similar. So let's go through the way we've done it before. We've put our hands sort of on top and underneath a big, beautiful, I like to think of it as watery floating ball. And we came out, and around it, and then over the top. It's not really a ball as much as it's a blob, right? And we kind of go around, we feel the edges, and then we come in, and it's just like you kind of, I don't know, I kind of slide the heels of my hands along that nice wet edge or something, or furry edge. And then I come around the outside, because the outside's very round. And then I kind of rub the heels of my hands across. And that gives me this shape, because this is a classic Tai Chi closed shape. It's not like this, it's like this, right? This hand, can you see that? This hand is like in front of the shoulder, and this other hand, you see how it's underneath the elbow, and then we can come back the other way, right? We can kind of feel we can even put a hand out and in. Sometimes in Tai Chi, it's done like this, and then you can't quite feel that blob anymore. But for now, just think about coming around this nice watery blob and then running the heels of your hands across the top of that blob so that it comes across. So here you are, and you've got this a little bit of room, you know, a little bit of room. I mean, you may have room or not this way, but you're certainly not like hunched over. You're kind of like this. And then coming out. And we've been doing this in the right word off and closing. And if you're learning the form, you close like this and you open. And sometimes, like if you're doing the form, because I know Dorothy, you'd be opening like this. You know, it's like one hand would be out and one hand would be down. You might recognize that position. You know, this is that grab position. Then we go around and we can, you know, touch the slimy thing and then run our heels across it. So it's circular. It's kind of circular for this part, but then it goes straight, kind of when it closes. There's this sense of straightness, and you see how it's kind of parallel. And it opens and it closes. And we tend to do this. We tend to close when we're turning. There's a lot of that goes on. So in this particular move, I just want to show you this move, this wellness exercise. Looks like this. I'm going to show it to you from a couple of angles. So we actually, and one of the things we do here, let's actually practice that for a second, is we act like we're sitting in a chair like a gorilla. So we're not moving our hips much. So you can kind of, I'm going to actually put my shirt in for a minute. So my hips aren't going to move like this, right? They're not going to move like this. They're going to move a little bit, but they're going to stay more straight. And you want to be able to turn your shoulders and actually turn a good bit of your spine without turning your hips. You see that? So you can start with your shoulders, but you want to get a feel that, see how my knees are really quiet right now? They're not moving at all. It's all from here. And my guess, Suman, is that in your dance you've probably done something like that, you know, where you move your upper body, but not your lower body. So you probably have that skill to do that, of the upper body and moving that. So we need that here, because in all the wellness exercises, unless we're moving a foot like we do in right ward off, we're not moving our hips. But we are turning. So what I'd like you to do is, as you turn, bring this arm over like this. Right. And then we can do that with the other arm. So let's suppose this arm were here. Right, sounds good. And then we're going to turn it palm up and turn. And it's kind of the bottom of this, or I'm just doing it one arm at a time. So from here, coming back, just turning back for a second and pushing down. We're going to turn this way and turn. And the arm's going to go like this. Nice. And it's this nice extended butterfly arm. Yeah, nice, lovely. And we can do that on the other side. We can turn this way and turn the thumb up here and this way. And again, you don't want to be moving those hips much, but you do want to turn. You see that my hips make a little bit of a turn, but boy, my feet are solid and my knees are solid. So from here to here. Okay, so Then the next thing you're going to do with this arm is you're going to throw it out. It's going to go straight. And you're going to throw it out by untwisted. So you're like a spring. You're over here and you're just going to go whomp. Beautiful. And you're throwing out to about, 45 degrees from where you're standing. So let's do that on the other side. Take this, and then remember, it's going to go thumb up, and we're going to come over here, and we're feeling like we're a spring, right? Because our feet and our knees are straight, but our upper body is twisted in a nice way that doesn't hurt. And here it is. And then what are we going to do? We're going to untwist and throw it up. Right. Great. On the other side, we're going to turn thumb up, twist, and we're absolutely straight on this pole. And then we're going to untwist and throw up. And you're going to watch your hand when you do. Now, right now, you're probably trying to watch me, but as you get more comfortable, you watch your hand. So put your hand down, and we're going to go to this side now, turning this way. Thumb's going to go up, and we're over. And if you want, you can tip your head a little bit and just barely see your fingertips, right? You don't want to put your head way down like this. Kind of in your peripheral vision, those fingertips are there. You're twisted on your Tai Chi pole, and you go back the other way and throw it up. Beautiful. It's kind of like throwing a frisbee, right? If you've ever done that. Okay, fabulous. So this is how this works. We're going to start like this. And we're going to actually close our arm. So see what was happening here? So this arm is going to come up. There you go. This is that arm you're going to throw. Nice. And you're twisted, right? You're going to untwist. This top arm is just going to push straight down. And the other arm is going to go up. Nice. Now you're here. What are you going to do? You're going to turn this hand this way to kind of like wave almost, right? And the other one's going to rotate, and you're going to get back in that position on the other side. Then what are you going to do? You're going to push down with your top hand, and your bottom hand's going to be flung out by your twist. So untwist. Nice. And then rotate your hands. So you're going to wave kind of towards the screen with your upper hand, and turn. And actually, we're going to sink when we do this, but we're not going to turn our hips. And then we're going to stand up at the same time that we fling that arm. The bottom arm flings, and the top arm pushes out. Nice. And it flings out not all the way, about here, about 45 degrees. Yeah. Now we're going to do it a little slower. Always good to do it slowly. We're going to turn, and we're getting ready to sink. We're going to sink. Man, our bottom body is still straight with those knees, but now we've got this lovely closure. Top hand's going to push down. Bottom hand is going to be flung by our untwisting, and we're going to slow it down. Untwist, push down. There, it's done. Nice. And rotate our arms. Start to come down, sinking, twisting on our pole. Top hand's going to push down as we start to push our bodies up, flinging that arm and in slow motion. So one arm is up, there you go. The arm is up kind of at eye level. Your fingertips will be at eye level when you're done. And your other arm will be down kind of by your hip, right? Kind of by the very lower part of your hip. Nice. Okay, now I want you to pay attention to where naturally things cross, because when you fling your arm by turning your body, which we both are doing, chances are very good that your arms are going to cross at the forearm center. So let's see if that's true. So we're going to turn that towards the thumb on that top side, right? You're going to like rotate both arms like the thumbs are almost going towards each other, and you're going to sink and close your arms into that closed position. And then when we are in slow motion, we can kind of watch what happens. Remember, you're flinging that arm, and as you do, it extends. There's going to be this moment where you see the pushing down hand is going to cross your arm as your body turns. And then we're going to sink and rotate those arms. And right when you're all twisted up, you untwist, fling that lower arm up into the corner. See how nicely straight that is? Yeah. Okay, so questions on that. It's crazy, huh?
I think I turned the same way each time.
Okay, so let's try it where we're next to each other. It's going to be a little hard on one side because you're not going to be able to look the same way, but then we'll do it the other way. Okay, so put your left hand up near your right shoulder, right? And bend your knees and turn towards me, and your fingertips will be underneath, right? Now you're going to turn away, but then the next one you're going to be in the other way of going. So you're going to turn to the right, and you're going to fling your arm up to the right, and your left hand's going to come towards your sort of left hip. So it's the flinging you want to do only by turning. It goes kind of straight up to the corner. Nice. Nice. Okay, that looked really great. Now you're going to turn away from me. You're going to turn to your right, and you're going to, your lower hand, you're not going to be able to see me, is going to come under, and you're going to close those arms. Nice. You both look good. Straight Tai Chi pose now. And then untwist, and fling that left arm up towards the corner. Now they both turn as you go down, and your right arm is under your left elbow. Now the trick is it's not a circular move. It really is just flung. So fling it up there in slow motion as you push the other arm down. See if you can, here you go. There you go. Yep. Okay. Turn that thumb, sort of in front to the front, that right thumb to the front, and put that left arm now under your right elbow. Put your left hand on your to close. And then we're going to turn back to the left and fling the left arm up. Yeah, as you turn. All right, let's do it the other direction. All right, so we do it exactly what we were doing a minute ago. So the left arm is going to come under the right elbow, and the right hand's at your shoulder. Now you can see me on this side. And what's going to happen? The upper arm is just going to sort of push down, and the lower arm is going to get flung. So now notice that I'm straight. I'm not like way over here. I'm straight, and all I'm going to do is untwist. Untwist. And then twist and sink. Twist and sink. Problem is now you can't see me, right? Turn your thumbs up. Dorothy, your right arm should be under your left elbow.
Oh.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. All right, I should call that out. And then you're gonna untwist, fling that right arm up. Now your arms twist, so your right arm is sort of pointing in towards the front of where you are, where you're looking in a way, and the left arm is going to come underneath, and as you sink, your arms close. You can see this now. Now the left arm is under the right elbow, and it's going to fling up as you untwist. So untwist, right arm goes down, pushes down, left arm goes up. Yep. All right, one more time from straight on where we can see each other. All right, now I'm not going to use left and right because at this point we have different left and rights, but you're going to use this arm, right? and we're going to put it up here. We're going to put this one up here, and down here we're going to go over here. All right. So your right arm, this is your right arm. That's right. Your right arm. And then your left arm is going to push down as you untwist, turning to your right. Nice. And now you're going to change your arms, and that lower arm, remember, it points at the direction you're going to turn. That might help you, Dorothy.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And give it a try. Untwist. Fling that left arm up as you untwist.
Okay, you weren't moving there for you're not moving.
Oh, my internet connection is going wonky. Sorry.
But you're okay now. But I was like, wait a minute, are we just holding this position?
Where is she gonna move? It sounded like she was saying something. Yeah, I'm up in there sort of attic, but it looks better now. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's great.
So we were over here.
Okay.
And we're over here, and we're gonna fling this arm, it's your left arm, up, and you're gonna push your right arm down. Nice. Then both arms rotate, and you sink, and you're turning to your left, and your right arm is underneath, right? If I can reverse things here. Then we're going to push down with that left arm, which is high, and we're going to untwist. There you go. All right. So this is our next wellness exercise. So we're going to tack that on. And we're not even going to get into right ward off today, because it's just going to really confuse, because right ward off is just enough similar and just enough the same that it's confusing, but it's wonderful for introducing the bow step. Suman, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Is this motion sudden or smooth?
It will be smooth. It will be smooth. So let me demonstrate for you folks how it will be. So it's like this. Okay. So yeah, and now in reality, if you're doing it as a martial art, what you're actually doing is drawing somebody into you, and then your whole body is going like this, and when you do, you're bumping them off you. So that's why it's straight, because you're actually, doing something like that. So Tai Chi is all circles until the moment you direct your energy. And then you want to go straight to the heart of the matter, as it were, straight where you want it. So that's the trick. So it's all smooth, but it's really useful to practice the flinging, because it gives you that sense of, oh, I got a little, and I don't know if everybody has this, but did people tell you when you were little, you need to put a little more body English in it? I don't even know where that comes from, but it's like what I don't know why they say English. It sounds very culturally, like weird to me that we would be saying that these days. But that's the way they used to talk about it. And what that meant was somehow you were supposed to use your whole body to do it, right? Not just your arm. Yes. What?
I heard the word oomph once. Like
oomph. Oomph, kind of, it is similar, don't you think, Dorothy?
Yes.
Yeah, I think oomph means that you've put body power into it. Yeah. Suman, I don't think that Dorothy and I even ever thought of that as a word, but it is a word. Like I want to go look it up in a dictionary, because we kind of almost think of it as a made up word, but it's clearly not, because people use it a lot. It's funny, like buzz is a buzzy sound, and it's kind of like, I'm sure oomph comes from, it's onomatopoetic. I'm sure it's like, oomph,
Yeah.
Like eek, these are words, but they're also like what it is. That's very good. Well done. Yes, that's a culturally more appropriate word, and I will use it in the future, because I, until I said it, I didn't know, and I went, I don't say things like that. That's weird. That's really ancient. That's very just from my culture, and I live in a multicultural world. That's very weird. So, all right, how about we do all these exercises together and just enjoy them. So we're not going to do the opening, but we will do moving like the waves, but we always have to prepare. And actually, let's start them as Master Yang will start them. So Master Yang starts them with feet together. So you're still going to have like your prepare moment. And so you're going to get that same loosening in your lower back, and your arms are going to be at your sides. You're going to be very relaxed. And then you're going to let your weight go a little bit onto your foot on this side, your left foot. And you're going to pick up your other foot and put it down a shoulder width apart and move over till you are centered in that traditional prepare. So this is the way you'll see it on YouTube. Then we're going to begin as an opening with that expansion across our back and our arms floating up to shoulder height. As we get there, we droop our elbows and push down. And we're going to sink. And then rising, our arms will rise to shoulder height. And sink. When we're at the bottom, we come up, halfway up, all the way up and down. Halfway down, all the way down. Breathing in, halfway up, all the way up, and breathing out. Halfway down, all the way down. One more time, powering up. And down. Moving to our next exercise, we're gonna come up, breathing tree, coming out. And then we descend, we bend those knees as the tree gets smaller, but our arms still embrace it. And we come up and out and in and down. And now our arms are like giant wings. We feel them out and then beating in. And with great strength and feeling the air through the feathers, we expand out and then gather that air and beat in. And we'll do one more. Breathing out. It's basically the same as breathing tree, but it feels so different when we visualize it this way. And our arms come down. Our fingertips come down and we rise up, our arms circling to gaze at the moon. Our fingertips now pointing towards each other, we push down and bend our knees. We reach the bottom. Our arms circle again, they rotate, and as we rise, pushing up from our feet, our shoulders stay down, our elbows allow us to bend those hands in front of our face, now pushing down at our chest level, then our waist level, then our hip level, until we can't push anymore. Again, rising, seeing the moon, circling our arms right in front of our eyes, gazing forward as we push down past our chest and all the way till we can't push anymore. And one more time, coming up, circling, pushing down. Staying down, little turn, arm comes up, that rising arm grabs and pulls, and we may go to that side as the other arm comes up. As we turn back, our palm turns out, grab and pull, our weight shifting as we turn the upper body only, inside arm rising. Grab, pull, turning out, inside arm rising, outside arm falling. Grab, pull, shifting our weight, inside arm rising. grab, pull, inside arm rising. It grabs and pulls. The other arm becomes the inside arm. Rising, it starts to grab and pull, but now it goes down and joins the other arm. Our arms circle to shoulder height and come down. Now your left arm is going to turn palm up and your arms are going to close your right arm in front of your left shoulder. So right, yes. And you're going to fling your left arm out. Your right arm pushes down. Upper arm turns out, lower arm rotates and you sink. Lower arm flings out, upper arm pushes down as you turn. Upper arm, palm forward, you sink, lower arm turn in the direction that lower arm fingers were pointing. Turn back, fling that arm up to the corner. Turn, rotate those arms. Now that lower arm, turn in the direction that your arm is pointing. So you turned left. With your right arm gets flung up, left arm pushing down, arms rotate, turning. One more time, flinging that arm as you turn, and then your arm's just going to push down. Then we're going to put our hands at our sides, shift over our weight and bring our foot in, and salute to each other.